All right, yeah, go.
Verse 36. Flee the shadow of this world.
Yeah.
Receive the joyfulness of your glory. I testify my Savior openly.
Right, so you're supposed to you're supposed to pretty much don't even just forget about this world. Now, when you first come into the truth, instantaneously that's not going to be the case because you're going to grow in it. It's going to take time for you to grow to come to that state of mind. But the point of the matter, you want to get to that point where you build a state of mind like that, where you just like, fuck this world. You know what I mean? Your only here on this earth is to do the Father's will, and that's it. You understand? Like, if you're in this truth or if you're in a camp, that mentality should already been in you already. Because it's gonna come, man, where this world is gonna come up against us. Seriously. Alright? Esau is gonna come up against us as a flood. It tells you that in Revelations 12 and 12, man. So it's gonna happen. So before then, what you should have been doing before it already happened, you should have been praying and fasting and meditating on certain things. Anyway, I'm done with what I had to say right there.
Say, 2nd Ezra 2, verse 13. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you.
Right, and that's another level, another step. Once you reach to the first step, this is the next step, and the next step is just to be looking towards the end, or hastening the coming of the power, or sending your son down. That's what we're supposed to be looking forward to, not trying to side by, you have 1 feet in the world and 1 feet in the truth. No. You're supposed to be hot for the truth. All right? You're supposed to know who your enemies are. You're supposed to know that 2/3 of Israel are going to be destroyed, and all these different things. It tells you in Ezekiel 2 and 7, eat the whole roll and then go teach the whole house of Israel. All right? And that's why there's an order on how we do things and break no stone. Because you can't just lead a guy into the camp and he ain't got the right state of mind. Alright, the same way he came into the camp is the same way he can leave the camp. So brothers gotta grow in the spirit and get their minds in order.
And it says, pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened.
Yeah.
The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch.
And watch. So that's what we're supposed to be hastening for. Give me that in 1 Peter 3, brother, 2 Peter 3. Okay. That's what we're supposed to be looking to do. This is why we do. This is a part of why we do what we do. We're doing this so that we can receive mercy from on high, and we're looking for the downfall that's place, which we don't feel bad at all doing what we're doing. Telling these motherfuckers out here that they're gonna be destroyed. We don't mind doing this.
Yeah.
Because we want to see these people be destroyed.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's not, you know what it says, look for the hasten of the coming of the something like that.
Right. So it says 2 Peter 3, verse 12. Verse 11. Seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness?
Right, which is AKA also the upright conversation. So we have to, like I said, we have to know what we're involved in, and we have to know the scriptures so that we can speak the things that are upright and the things that concern the scriptures, which is the oracles of God. Okay, go on.
Looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of the Most High.
Right, and that's another thing. Okay, what should I say? Let me reiterate myself. Like I said, that's another step. It's looking for and hastening to the coming of the Lord. The second time coming up is the same thing. All right, that's what they're supposed to do. Not only you got this truth, and you're trying to find ways to where you don't want to do this work anymore because you want to keep some job or whatever it is, or you want to stay with a woman. Now you're supposed to be hot for this truth. You're supposed to be hastening the coming of the day of the Lord so that we can live deliciously, so that we can live in good health and see righteousness take place in His planet. Fuck what's going on out here, man. Because all of this is going to be dissolved. All of these buses and these trains and these buildings that we see, right before us, and all of these women and these men out here, and all of the nonsense that makes up this world is all going to dissolve, man. So what we need to be focused on and gearing our energy towards is this work, which is going to stand forever. Go on.
Right. Wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved,
Right.
and the elements shall melt with fervent heat.
Right, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Go on.
Nevertheless, we, according to his promise,
Right.
look for new heavens and a new earth.
And that should be supposed to be your mindset. Your mindset is supposed to be geared towards looking towards the heaven where the Most High is going to reset everything back to normal again. All right? Because see, that's how you know you in the truth. When you know you in the truth, right? When you know that the brother's in the truth, it's when he's thinking upon those things that we just read to you. And that's all we think about, especially down here in Great Millstone. We look for the day of the downfall of the society, man.
And we're looking for this persecution to arise.
Right, because after the persecution arises, guess what's going to happen? The Most High is going to move on it. So it all goes hand in hand. And that's why I'm excited. Go on, brother.
You know what I'm saying? So they say, looking for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness.
Yeah.
Right?
A righteous society, a righteous world where the planet is under that same vibration. But we no longer have to worry about criminal activity. We no longer have to worry about our children being something rather than what we told them to be. We don't have to worry about that no more. We don't got to worry about all of the madness that goes on down there. It even tells you in the scriptures as well that the earth is going to be so righteous that even your children, they're going to just be playing freely, man. They're going to be messing with even the beasts, even certain animals they're going to be messing with. And they're going to be all right, the kids, man. You ain't got to worry about some old pedophile looking after your child or looking at the children. That's not going to happen because our world is going to be perfect, man. See, we represent perfection. The so-called white man, he don't represent perfection. He represents confusion and destruction. And you know what proves that? Because these so-called Europeans, they get off with spilling blood. They get a kick out of killing people. They get a kick out of bringing forth some kind of destruction. Go on, brother.
Hebrews 12:1. Wherefore, seeing we are also compassed about with so great a cloud
Right.
of witnesses,
Right.
let us lay aside every weight and the sin which does so easily beset us,
Right.
and let us run with patience the race that is set before us.
Right. Exactly. So we have to endure this truth, man. This is like a what you call it, a marathon. It's getting heavy now. It's like a marathon what we're doing here. But you know, it doesn't matter who runs the quickest or who runs the slowest. It just matters that you cross the finish line. And we just about crossed the finish line. Go on, brother.
So it say, looking unto Yahweh Shai, the author and finisher of our faith.
Looking towards Yahweh Shai, the author and the finisher of our faith. So Yahweh Shai is an example that we look to, so that when we see death, we'll overcome death like he did. All right, and it tells you in the scriptures as well that when Yahweh Shai got done going through his purification, he was rewarded. So the same thing is going to happen unto us. So when they persecute certain men in his truth, all right, and you become martyrs, then that's a beautiful thing. Go on, brother.
Who for the joy that was set before him.
Right. And this is talking about Yahweh Shai. Because the joy that was set before him was going to come after he got purified.
Right.
Go on, brother.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross,
Endure the cross.
despising the shame,
Despising the shame.
and is set down on the right hand of the throne
Beautiful,
of the
brother.
Most High.
Beautiful. You're going to have to read that again. That's what I'm talking about.
They say, who for the joy that was set before him
Yeah.
endured the cross,
Endure the cross. Go on.
despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand
Of the Father.
of the throne
Yep.
of the Most High.
So he's got a high exalted position when he comes back down. He's second in command to the Most High. So he's going to be the king of the earth. He's going to be the actual king of the planet. Now you're going to have other Israelites that are going to be kings, okay? But there's a ranking order. The Most High deals with order. The scripture says, in Corinthians, it says that the Most High is the order of confusion, but order. All right? Now it says, let things be done decently and in order, for the Lord is not the order of confusion. So the Most High likes every little thing to be ordered. All right? But this society here, the spirit of this system is really of Shaitan, which is adverse to the Most High, causing disorder. Women putting women above men and putting men under women. Having men do that which is unseemly and women as well. Alright? You got parents now that are nervous and scared to discipline their children. So Esau represents disorder. And we take pleasure in order. Alright? Because we're just that, the perfect.
Right. And it said despising the shame. The time we're coming to, brothers are going to experience great shame, man. But it says, and Jacob shall not be ashamed.
Right. What's that scripture? Jacob shall not wax up.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think it's in Isaiah chapter verse 28, I believe. And why the brothers finding that scripture? Because when you read the book of Genesis chapter 25, where it speaks about Jacob, how he was a plain man dwelling in tents. And we always talk about this. When you look up the word plain, in the Hebrew, the word there is tamam, or tamayim, which means perfect. So we take it so that we would like to have things in a perfect state. Okay? But the so-called white man, or Esau, the Bible speaks about, he takes pleasure in causing disorder, which is what he's been doing ever since he got back into power. Okay? Like when you check out the Roman Empire, or even the Greeks, there were wars in the Greek Empire. All kind of wars, all kind of things going on. That was adverse. And in the Roman Empire, the same thing. It had wars that was going on back then. And adverse things was taking place there as well. And guess what, baby boy? We're in the third kingdom of Esau, and it's the same thing. It's not in the which the Talmud uses that shame. You know, you should put that down. Yeah, Isaiah 29, verse 22.
Oh.
Verse 22.
It said, Isaiah 29, verse 22.